and the horse rider has two heads. Like he's just like. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're rich. Okay, congratulations. You've never had to buy bootleg pollo shirts at the pulga, and I'm giving you too much of my childhood. Okay. Made fun of. How come there's two heads? I've heard of the headless horseman, but this is the headful horseman. Just full of two heads. All right. Our next comedian, guys. If you see him on the premises, don't freak out. Don't call the cops. He's got Tourette's. Okay. Our next comedian is actually a TikTok superstar, and he's actually been doing comedy around the country, and he's crushing the TikTok game, dude. And it's actually cool to have him here. So please put your hands together. He's known as Tourette's, but he's a good friend of mine. Please put your hands together for Mr. Zachariah Tippett. Yeah.
How's it going? So my name is Zachariah Tippett. Most people just call me Tourette's. I'm sorry. It's Tourette. And I have Tourettes Syndrome. So by show of hands here, how many people know what Tourette's Syndrome is? Almost everyone lit. Okay, this is going to be fun. And for those of you that didn't raise your hand, Tourette's Syndrome is a neurological condition that, in a nutshell, sometimes has me say and do things that I don't want to do. Tourette. Yell that louder. Yeah. And when that happens, I like to say I have something called diplomatic immunity when I yell the bad words. I love you. Alright, well now that we all know and we're learning what Tourette's Syndrome is, I want to share a story with y'all about me from 6th grade. 6th grade. Y'all remember that, right? I know I do. Especially this day. This one horrible day that I was having. And it started off like this. I woke up late. And with me being a little tubby kid and all, I just had a few minutes to get my shit together and get my ass out to that bus. Oh, don't worry, I made it. But I forgot my lunch money. And my bully was not going to be happy about that. Now, second thing was, I failed a spelling test that day. And it kind of took me by surprise, because I sat next to the two smartest girls in my class, and I cheated off of them. You best believe when Mrs. G gave us a word to spell, I broke out my super secret Tourette's food ninja moves, and I cheated. Check this out. Alright class, spell Mississippi. Mississippi. M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-I. That got me through college. But she came up to me afterwards. She said, Zachariah, I don't care if you spelled the words correctly. It has to be legible. But don't worry, you're our little special student. So I'll let you retake the test. I'll let you retake the test during recess. How does that sound? I was like, how does that sound? Sounds like some bullshit. She said, what'd you say? I said, chill. Tourette's. And third, and by far the worst part about that day was, I was unable to participate in gym class that day. And I was really looking forward to that too. Especially since the substitute teacher from last period decided to share a film with my class so they could better understand my disability. We started watching Forrest Gump. Wrong disability teacher. I couldn't participate in gym class that day. And my gym teacher at the time, he would always make sure to pick these Tourette's-friendly games for me to be a part of. Whether that be basketball, football, soccer, baseball was not a good idea. I remember it was me up to bat, Allie was pitching, she threw me a curveball and I just... Long story short, that's how I got Tourettes Syndrome. It's hereditary. Jot that down. Jot that down. Hereditary. But what I will never forget about my gym teacher, he always did these 3 things verbatim every time before class started. He would walk in, greet us, ask us how our day was going. Then he would start to announce the game of the day, and then pause with a little suspense. So this is what it looked like. Good afternoon, 6th grade classroom. How are you doing today? Are you ready to hear the game of the day? Because today, we're going to play... Pause. During that pause, this is a little rundown of what was going on. My classmates are smiling cheek to cheek. Some say they were in the corner making more noises in that back left corner, Tourette'sing like crazy. Because I was ready to hear the game of the day. Like a cigarette and a smoker, I needed this right now. He said, all right, class. Are you ready to hear the game of the day? We all don't sound ready. I said, are you ready to hear the game of the day? Hell yeah! Because today, we're going to play hide and seek. Smiles turned to frowns as everyone in my class turned their head to look directly at me. My best friend Dean even said, Coach, can Tourette's play this game? And after what Coach realized what Dean just said, and he put 2 and 2 together. Whoa! He looked at me directly in my eyes, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. He looked me straight in my eyes, and he said, shit, I forgot about you. Class laughs. Tourette, Zachariah, come over here. Does anyone have kids here? Kids? Alright, so you know like when your kid fucks up and you have a certain type of tone that you talk to him in? Yeah? So this is what this no kid having ass approached this situation. He came up to me and he was like, hey buddy. So, my goldfish run away again? Like, fuck. He said, listen, I know you were pretty excited about the game of the day today, but I think it would kind of be unfair to have you on either other team. So how about this? How about you head back to class and you catch up on your homework, and I'll let you pick the game of the day Monday. How does that sound? How does that sound? That sounds like some and he was like, pipe down. He didn't. He gave no shits. I grew up in St. Louis. And I was leaving that auditorium. He called up to me. He said, hey, Zachariah, before you go, his little fat jaw coach over me. I was like, yeah, coach, what you need? Like, did you change your mind? Can I play? Can I be a part of the team? He said, hey, I'm glad I caught you. Before you go, you got my lunch money? So I headed back to class. I walk in and Mrs. G just starts freaking out. She goes, hey, what are you doing? This is me time. You can head back to class. I was like, well, I can't, Coach. Coach just sent me back here because I wasn't allowed to play the game of the day. She says, you weren't allowed to play the game of the day, huh? Now, what would a 12-year-old boy not be able to play in gym class? I said, hide and seek. She said, hide and seek? Now, that's just absurd. Why would you not be able to play hide and... And then after that, all she said was, oh. Well, regardless, this is Mrs. G's time. So I'm going to need you to collect your things from your desk, and you can head on over to the library. How does that sound? How does that sound? Mrs. G, it sounds like you're telling me to go to the only building in the only Oh, I'm so sorry. The only classroom in the entire building that literally has a sign on the front door that says no loud noises inside, please. Thanks, teach, but I think I'll take my chances playing hide and seek. Now that I'm a little bit older, a few years have passed, obviously. And I'll be sharing with y'all what I've been putting that good old high school degree and college diploma. I just recently quit my job. What I used to do was, I used to do accounting work, believe it or not. And there were two things of why I hated that job. I sat in a cubicle all day. And in a nutshell, that's basically a sound enhancement booth, alright? So every time I sat down to get some work done, my thoughts would boom right off the wall like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care if y'all have to deal with it, but I don't want to hear it. Now, second thing was, apparently when I got hired there, they ran out of chairs for me to sit in. So the only seating arrangement that they had for me was this little exercise ball. So on top of being the only person there that yells loud disabled noises, yeah, I am now also the only person whose designated seating spot is a bouncy ball. Check this out. That's how I used to get work done. Alright, who looks businessy? You think you could work next to me being your cubicle neighbor? No, right? Because that's distracting and that's funny as shit. My boss came up to me and he told me, son, that's free entertainment you're doing right there, so here I am. So after he told me that, what actually happened was I left, went home, clicked and applied for just about everything on the first page of Indeed. These are some of my results where I couldn't work at because of my Tourettes Syndrome. Couldn't be a 911 operator. I couldn't work for OnStar. I tried IHOP for about a week, but you know, flipping pancakes and Tourette's Syndrome kind of looks like. I just didn't say that job didn't really pan out. Alright, after that, I tried some DJing. And you would think DJing, you know, my Tourette's would get in the way of that, but it didn't. It actually made it 1,000 times better. Because not only did I incorporate a whole new type of genre of music, which I like to call Tourette's no music. Y'all want to hear some? See what I did? I just incorporated my my tics, as what the medical term is called, my tick noises, and put it in some techno music, and it sounded like this. I don't know why, but white people love that shit. But unfortunately, that job didn't really work out. Because every time I got called into the dance floor, that's where the flashing lights were. And where the flashing lights are, that's when I dropped down to the ground. When I dropped down to the ground, everyone always felt the necessity to surround me and start cheering me on. One of my coworkers even said in my ear, "You're doing some really cool dance moves, bro!" It was a seizure. It's alright. Luckily, my girl Taylor Swift was playing at the time. So I was able to shake it off. Yeah. After that job, I tried bartending for a little bit. But the only drinks I was good at making were the shaken ones. That's right. And after that, I tried babysitting. Bad idea, because you remember why I was so good at that last job, right? Don't worry, those babies are fine. After that, I only had two options left. Second from the last was I decided to say, alright, fuck it. I'm going to join the military. And all went actually surprising really well until the grenade throwing exam came up. He said, all right, son, all you gotta do is pull this pin, shuffle back, throw, pull, shuffle, throw. I pulled, I shuffled, and I... You can get blacklisted from the military, so if you didn't know that, now you do. And after that, I didn't really know what else to do, so I sat down and I wrote a letter to my favorite company. I told them I could be your mascot and I could be your sales fucking commercial person. Because you know why? Because I have Tourettes Syndrome and I smoke a lot of weed. Shake and Bake was not impressed. I'm Zachariah Tippett, everybody. Thank y'all for coming out.
Give it up for our boy Zachariah Tippett, everybody. And whether you know it or not, because we let him perform, now this place is an advocate for Tourette's Syndrome, and we just got a giant tax break. Yes! Yes! You see how we do that here? Yeah, baby. Trump University. Huh? Trump University. All right, good, my friends. Are you guys ready for your headliner this evening, guys? Are you guys ready? Oh, that was the weakest. It sounded like I was at a funeral. Are you guys ready for your headliner this evening? Let me hear you make some noise. Ready for your headliner. All right. He's been a featured act here at the